greetings, infinite blessings, and welcome to another moment of now. Now being the only time that ever exists, and now being just as good a time as any to actually bring forth everything required to actualize your dream life in your ways. Welcome to another Hump Day healing. And very quickly, I'd like to introduce myself to those of you that are not yet connected to me on a deeper level or aware of who I am. My name is Kain Stromberg. I go by the handle, the title, the Cosmic Surfer, surfing those waves of existence together, now and forever. As I say, united as one people on this one earth, governed by one love. United we stand, and together we rise. So, today, now, being the only time that exists, now the only time, today the only day, it's an image, a principle of understanding that I have been given time and time again. And it is comparing life to a computer game. And the characters in the game of your life being the people in your life, and yourself being character player number one, prime creator. You have created the game, you have designed it, created it, and then you are going about playing it. And whilst you are playing it, you also have an aspect of yourself that believes yourself to be that avatar character. Your ego is your character self, is your physical conscious self. The aspect of your subconscious, which links into your higher self and the Akashic records, the internet of all things, this supersedes the ego, the conscious self, the avatar, the player, character number one. Everybody else in your game is other players, secondary characters, each of them there to bring you something different along your journey in your game. Some are there that will walk with you as part of your journey throughout the entire game, all the way through to completion, or to the point where you complete this attempt at the game and then start again. Just as though you were playing a computer game and you play it for a day, you get so far in the game and you go to sleep. You then start again the next day. In truth, you have continued the game from where you are in it, actually requiring the information and learnings to overcome that particular obstacle in that element, in that level of the game. But you've forgotten this, because every time we go into that deep sleep and we are reborn, we go through the process again. So the way that you go about completing certain levels is by learning certain information to then overcome certain obstacles. Okay? If you view everything in existence simply as it is, which is energy, then it allows you to have a better understanding of every interaction that takes place. Look at it almost, well, it is just as Neo sees, but it is more of a web, a golden web, as opposed to green code. But there is definitely a lot to take from the holographic universe principle, the theory of everything being a simulation. Because in truth, even consciously and physically, everything is a simulation that is created within your mind. Everything is energy vibrating at different frequencies. Fact. And it does so in waveform. Fact. This is why we surf upon those waves, because if we go under, the waves can crash upon us and keep us there. So by surfing on the waves, we gain a higher perspective. We learn to enjoy what is there, knowing that being a single droplet of water in the ocean of existence, we are connected to the entire ocean. We're part of the ocean, as the ocean is part of us. In fact, we are the mighty ocean itself. but we can't control the direction the tide is travelling in. So we learn to surf upon the waves and take the most enjoyment out of every situation and opportunity that we are gifted. Life really is a gift. And if you view it in this way, then it's so, because everything you experience is consciously created. And it is consciously created on a global scale. The consciousness of humanity actually affects not only humanity and the earth that we live upon, but also the collective consciousness of the universe. Everything exists in unity, and the more that we are being separated and fragmented, the more we are starting to actually look within and discover the truths. I'm going to do a short integration meditation at the end of this to include the element of healing, because a message, a single word, can bring healing which goes way beyond that moment that it was delivered, and somebody else can listen as you whisper those words, and it can echo around the entire universe. So going back to life being like a game, there are certain things that we need to overcome, knowing that we don't need to do anything, knowing that it is all a choice and it is free will that governs all, which again is why we need to choose to be controlled, choose to have certain things implanted within us or put upon us. By globally choosing, by the collective choosing, we are part of the collective, and we have had that choice made for us. Just as collectively the wave travels in the direction that it is, the current travels together as a collective. We as the single element of understanding, knowing we are the wave, we are the ocean, we are the single droplet, are only able to then enjoy whatever direction the current is flowing. If you try to swim against the tide, it will just wear you out and you will go under. The way that I was showing it is linked into the 7 deadly sins and the fact that 8 is infinite. There is only one true way, one true path towards full liberation and completion. We become trapped in a maze, and each of the deadly sins is a mission, a level to actually learn and complete. Each time you get to the end of the game, it starts again. At the end of the game, there are certain doors that you can open. Only one of these doors leads you to liberation. The rest lead you into an eternal cycle of repetition, like Groundhog Day, where you become trapped in that cycle. There are some people that will never appear to actually do any form of understanding, acceptance, or what we would class as healing, which is just integration of the truth of who you are, bringing in all information and bringing it into completion. They are trapped, they are stuck in a loop, in a cycle, but they are there to allow us to see the alternative perspective, to have them as a mirror for us to learn and to grow from. They are part of our game. Likened to backfill characters. You are the main character, you have other characters which will walk with you, which will be part of your game. Some will bring you enjoyment, warmth, protection, liberation, unity, some form of connection and love. Others are there to challenge you, to test you, to bring you things to overcome, obstacles to learn and to grow from. The traumas of the past are the actual gifts that we can then learn and grow from. Without every event you've experienced, you would not be the person you are today. Basically, what we have done outside of the understanding of the system, of the code work within that game, is developed a way of bypassing this eternal cycle of suffering to get to nirvana, liberation, enlightenment. When you get to the end of the game, there's a room, and in the room there is 8 doors. Behind 7 of the doors is each of the 7 deadly sins, and behind the 8th door, it leads you to completion, to the infinite realms of potential and possibility beyond, which, as far as I've been shown so far, is just like pressing restart. Restarts again. So it brings me back to the realization and the deepest truth of all, that none of it matters. That all we are here to do is experience the experience, and that it really doesn't matter. If we are suffering or we are in a state of pleasure and joy, it is our personal perception, our personal experience and attachment to that. That is the only thing which defines it as right or wrong. This escalates not only to the single self or the family network or the community or the whole world, in truth, the whole universe. If the universe ended now like that, would it matter? No. So from the actual beginning to the end, all it is in the middle is an experience. None of it really matters. The way we go about gaining the information of what doors not to open is by coming here and actually experiencing everything we need to overcome each of the sins in particular lifetimes. I guarantee you, because I know myself, that there is one particular element that is more dominant than any other, one of the sins. We go about creating situations to experience it, to then condemn ourselves for it in that egoic context, to learn everything we can from it, and to then allow, accept, overcome through accreditation, through acknowledgement, acceptance, accreditation, authenticity, and then actually going about re-picking up the pen to become the creator and develop that code work ourselves again. Camera keeps. Doesn't like this background. Seeing through the code. So by completing each of these sins, when we get to that end room, we know not what door not to open. And we don't actually take that very final chapter. We don't approach or attempt that final level until we have discovered all of the doors, what is behind each of the doors, or 7 of them, knowing that the 8th is through the limiting aspect of all the others. We know what's behind those 7, so therefore number 8 must be liberation. It was a very, very powerful message that I received, and it gave me a massive surge of information about how to actualize where I was in my journey to this point today. I have recently been downloading some very, very deep, very powerful and very heavy information. And I have now been guided to stop. Not physically, not emotionally, but more spiritually. Allowing things to actually come to a more complete element of self. Allowing for all that information to be fully integrated before moving forwards. So it was literally an image of a door, not one of the 8, but the door between the realms of what we believe to be reality and what is in truth reality. So if for a moment you picture yourself as a computer, each of us born as a blank computer, having different programs installed upon us, and each of these programs running and responding in certain ways delivering certain information and being able to actualize certain experiences. This is likened to the subconscious mind. We then all have access to the internet. On the internet is a beautiful fountain of knowledge, but there is also a lot of potential darkness and things to otherwise not have any focus, any attachment, any allowance upon. What you focus upon grows. Focus on the negatives, it will grow. Focus on the repression, it will grow. Focus on the divide, it will grow. Focus on the fact that they are there to, and it will grow. Focus on the good, focus on the love, focus on the positivity, and that will grow. So this doorway is likened to opening a hatch in the computer and actually being able to dive headfirst into the internet without having any separation from all of that information. How we download these beautiful and very detailed and in-depth learnings, ancient wisdom, that we're then able to embody and to continue forward with, is by opening that door, opening Pandora's box. All of the light, all of the wisdom, all of the knowledge rushes out, as well as the reverse side of the coin. All of the darkness, all of the repression, all of that heaviness. And we become entangled in that beautiful dance. As I've always said, there is no battle to be won. There is nothing to win. You've already won. Life is the gift. Life is the prize. And if you go and try to fight or defy or deny something, you're causing separation. There is no battle. There is just an eternal dance between the elements of light and dark. So picture a vessel, a vase, with different liquids in, each liquid finding its own level and floating above the next. These could be likened to the levels of existence, the realms of existence. It's easy to swim through water, less so through oil, less so through a thicker diesel type oil, crude oil, etc., etc. Each time we become able, through actually bringing on a new layer of protection, we can then easily pass through the level we are in to the next level. Then in the next level, the learnings get a lot deeper, a lot more beautiful, a lot more powerful, and so does the other side of the coin. We are globally transmuting so much energy that we are being guided to focus upon the self, to look after yourself, to pamper yourself, to love yourself in all ways, to nurture yourself, to go back in, to comfort and embrace the inner child within. There was a very powerful message I received a couple of nights ago about the difference between what we focus upon and actually try to change and what we avoid. Whatever channel, whatever frequency you tune yourself into will be the imagery you receive from the universe around you. You turn a telly onto channel 4, it will show the picture on channel 4. You tune it into channel 2, it will show it on channel 2. Tune into love, you'll see love. Tune into hate, you'll see hate. A core belief, which is likened to the actual wiring in that computer, requires attention, as you cannot leave it in the darkness, because in the darkness it will just run unknown and actually cause all sorts of implications. So we go in. If there is part of you that believes yourself to be inadequate in whatever way, not good enough, not worthy, not good enough, not clever enough, not smart enough, not beautiful enough, not wealthy enough, whatever it is, whatever form of limitation, is due to part of yourself in the past having an experience and taking that experience to be factual and carrying it with you all the way. As a 3-year-old child, you were told you were wrong, you were told you were naughty, you were told you were selfish, whatever it is. A birthday party. The cake's cut. Everybody has a piece of cake. You love the cake. You go up and help yourself to a second piece. You're 4 years old. Cake tastes nice. Why would you not help yourself to another piece? You are then shouted at, told off by your grandmother. And then you believe yourself to be selfish because she has told you are selfish for taking another piece of cake. From that point on, you make sure that everybody else has a piece of cake before you do. And if there isn't enough to go around, that you're the person that goes without. You carry that with you all the way through your entire life until you get to the point where you realise, actually, I deserve that piece of cake. If somebody else deserves it, why not me? And actually, this is my experience, this is my life, this is my game. And I'm going to make it as enjoyable as possible. Not through the limitation or suffering of another, but just by choosing me, putting myself first. Being an empath, you have always put others first. It is time to look upon yourself with those same eyes of support, appreciation, and love that you look upon others. Elements and beliefs like that need to be looked at. I'm not good enough. Okay. Why is it you don't feel good enough? Talk to yourself. Talk to that part of yourself. I see you. I understand you. Well, I've got you. The inner child. Parent yourself. Parent your inner child. Support, love and embrace your inner child. I see you. I hear you. I understand you and I love you. How is it we can go about making you feel more confident or more safe? Whatever it is, whatever form of limitation. So you don't feel beautiful enough. How is it that you can feel more confident and more comfortable in who you are and the appearance of yourself, knowing that it is all energy and the way you project yourself is the way that people see you? Again, that computer screen. There is only one screen. The external world views it as you, and you view it as the external world. It's the same screen. You are the element of signal receiving and the actual receiver. You are the universe and you are the self. Whatever you vibrate at, you attract from the universe around you and you project yourself to be and believe the world to be, the universe itself to be. The other element of potential conflict of self, internal conflict, negative element, remembering nothing is positive or negative other than our perception and attachment to it. Things such as fears and phobias, habits and behaviours which are negative in things such as addictions. These are better. We can go in and remove anything that is programmed. But for a personal journey, I would suggest that you comfort and care and acknowledge and embrace and protect the inner child. Listen to what it wants to say. When part of you says, I'm fearful, I don't want to do that, I'm scared. I'm scared to go outside without a mask on. Okay, why? Why is it you're scared? What can we do to make yourself feel better? If that means wearing a mask, then for the greater good and the bigger picture, wear a mask. Everybody is entitled to feel safe and secure. And it is all a single person's perception that then actually brings about their experiences. If somebody feels safe wearing a mask, beautiful. I hope that you feel safe and secure. If somebody doesn't want to wear a mask because of their freedom of choice and expression, beautiful. I hope that you feel safe and secure. And with the current global climate that is taking place, knowing that there is a choice to be made, left or right, red or blue, it's only creating conflict and separation again. We are globally separated. Please look for the similarities in yourself as well as in each other. Doesn't matter what side you choose. Doesn't matter if you choose a side at all. The only person that you should really choose is you. If everybody chose themselves and stopped worrying about what somebody else thought, there would be no conflict. You choose red, you choose blue, great. I'm happy with my choice. Are you happy with yours? Yeah, great. Perfect. So, we both want to be happy, feel safe and secure, and experience love? Yeah. Let's focus on those similarities. Let's focus on what is the same, what unites us, what connects us as opposed to what separates us. So phobias, habits, again, hypnotic, trance-like guided journeys, timeline therapy, these can all be removed. But that is something that is not very accessible on your own. So I would suggest that in the principle of what you focus upon grows, don't focus upon it, don't grow it, or you have to look at it to know it exists. There's these two sides to the spiritual story again. The law of attraction, what you vibrate out, you attract. Don't focus on negatives or you attract it. True, but actually sometimes we need to look at what we perceive as a negative to understand why we perceive it as a negative, to then move past believing it is negative, to just accept it as part of the whole. Other things such as that addiction, if you are addicted to tobacco and you smoke, don't focus on smoking or tobacco, because all you're going to do is want to smoke. If you look at somebody else and think, oh, they're smoking, the subconscious mind hears smoking and wants to smoke. Or they shouldn't smoke. When you get to a point where you've given up, you're actually looking down upon someone that is smoking, but still looking and vibrating at that frequency of smoke. So, focus upon things that you are able to bring awareness to. Why do you want to smoke? Because I do, because it's an addiction. Okay, don't look at that. Actually change the channel from smoking to something else. Why don't you feel worthy? Because this thing happened when I was a kid and I've carried it with me forever. Okay, let's go back there and look at it. I love you, I support you, I embrace you, I protect you. There's always a choice and there's always two paths. But all routes, all rivers eventually lead back to the ocean. If you have any desire to learn about the law of attraction, then please go over to YouTube, because it is the most recent upload. And this week's installment of Together We Rise is how to live in the 5D. How to stop labelling and separating things and bring in that element of unity. So actually, instead of doing an integration meditation, as it is now running on a bit and I have a client in 10 minutes, I will do a short healing and actually guide and suggest that you go over to YouTube and watch the How to Live in 5D video, as well as the Truth of the Law of Attraction. YouTube has had a massive injection of attention and energy, and we will now be releasing 3 videos a week. Tuesday being a new modern day mindfulness series, where I'm going to take you through a step-by-step journey from the very beginning, the entrapment or feeling of being less than who you are, and going through each step of how to overcome and move past limitations of old. Acknowledge something, accept it, and tomorrow I will be recording the 3rd installment of that part of the journey. The first few videos are an introduction to myself, my journey, my experiences with depression and anxiety, and a video all about ego. Each one of these is about 45 minutes to an hour long. They are very detailed, very in depth, and it is something that you can benefit from massively. Everything that we have created in the courses has then been slowly trickled through in these series. So it's a way of gaining some very, very powerful information and wisdom. And I ask that you head over to YouTube, subscribe to the channel, and if you gain any positivity from it, which I know you will, then please share the channel with somebody else that you know will assist. I would very much appreciate getting the Cosmic Surfer YouTube channel to a point where we have a large enough subscription base to actually start monetizing it. So it can trickle in the background and start to feed and inject into the publication of the book, which will then pay for the launch of the charity. There is a very big picture, a very big mission, quest that I'm here to complete, and I ask for your continued support in doing so. All it is a few clicks, and you can help me as I continue to give myself and all that I do, and helping as many people as I can around the globe. So I'd like to just create an energy ball. And if you are still listening or watching, or whenever you're listening or watching, if you just go ahead and hold out your hands and take this ball and use it wherever you require it. Wash yourself with this beautiful pranic life force energy, this angelic crystalline energy. And feel your hands as they get tingly and warm, and feel that they are expanding. Your fingers are becoming larger as they seem to grow. And create your own ball and pass it on. Whoever you feel that it would most benefit, whoever you would like to send some energy to, some love, some appreciation, some support, create that beautiful energy ball and blow it to them. They will receive it at the exact perfect time when they require it the most. They may not know where it comes from, this feeling of connection, this feeling of confidence and a knowledge that everything is okay. I know that there is a lot going on outside, but I would like to remind you of how chaotic and dark and void that the universe actually is. And we have found a place of serenity, a place of harmony, so that we can experience those moments of bliss, living in the light and shining it from us, through us, having it come to us, allowing it to guide us in all we do. I thank you from the bottom of my heart and with all my soul for everything you do, and really, in truth, for being you. As you are more important than you realise, and more important than you will ever know. Focus on you. Give yourself an entire week where you choose to do what you want to do, simply because you want to. Whatever the reason for wanting to, if it is beneficial to your children, if it is that you want to do some act of kindness to make yourself feel good, if it is whatever it is, choose you. By each person choosing themselves, by each person working and doing the inner work upon themselves, by each person liberating themselves and loving themselves, and bringing in that inner completion of self, it's done. The healing of this world will not come about through helping or healing another. It will come about only through the healing of the self. And then truth, again, healing is a limited expression. As you are perfect, the universe is perfect. It would not be. You are perfect. There is nothing to heal. All that is required is the integration of all that information. You're perfect today, and you'll be perfect tomorrow. It just depends on which version of perfection that you wish to experience. What you choose to do today will affect your experiences tomorrow, and will then echo out for eternity around the entire universe. Please choose mindfully. Choose yourself and the collective with a focus of a world of equality and betterment for all in tomorrow. Choose the earth, choose the children, choose love. Love, light, and infinite blessings. And until next time, namaste. Thank you for who you are and all you continue to do. Thank you for continuing to gain the knowledge, the wisdom, for continuing to look within and doing the work required to bring freedom to not only yourself, but everybody else. As you continue to do the work, as you continue to expand your consciousness and awareness, you continue the expansion and awareness of everybody else, helping others to break free from that limitation and illusion of old. Continue to support me in all I do. Continue to grow the movement and continue to grow yourself.